Dear sisters and brothers of Kerala, pranams to you. I will speak in English because if I speak in Malayalam, you will forget your Malayalam. So, I am told that you are going to have a half-a-day session, and Brother Mohan has promised that if I give some inputs, which is interesting and valid, you will get it translated during the day. I am reminded in the beginning to start with a behavioral experiment which was done several years ago. I come from more of that background, management, leadership. So I'll share that, and from there I'll share a few inputs for you to look at your own practice. Look at how heartfulness can be taken in a bigger way than what it is now. And let's see. This experiment was done with a set of monkeys. We can call our forefathers or predecessors from where we have branched off according to the Darwin's theory of evolution. They wanted to experiment and check how monkeys behave and how they evolve. So what they did is they took a small vertical cage and they put about 5 monkeys inside. And they put one vertical pole. This cage is about 10 feet high, and they put a pole in the middle, and in the top of the pole they had kept some bananas which monkeys like. And what they did to check how monkeys behave is, whenever a monkey felt hungry and it wanted to climb that pole, they introduced a small shock, electric shock, into the pole. So every time a monkey climbed, there will be a shock, so the monkey will have to jump. So after a few attempts, the monkey stopped, because now they understood that the pole will have electricity and they can't reach the bananas that they have to eat. What they did is, after 2 days, they removed 2 monkeys out of the first lot. The earlier 3 monkeys were still there, and they introduced 2 new monkeys. These 2 new monkeys do not know what has happened earlier inside. And by this time they have done one thing interesting. They have switched off the electricity, so there is no more shock. But because of the earlier experience, the earlier monkeys never wanted to climb the pole to eat the bananas. So when the new monkeys came, they wanted to climb the pole. The earlier 3 monkeys were pulling them down, based on its experience of the shock. Though by now there is no shock at all. And after another 2 days, they removed 2 of the first 3 monkeys. 1 monkey is still there from the first batch, and 2 monkeys from the second batch, and they put 2 more monkeys. Now still number of monkeys are 5. Now what happens is, the second set of monkeys of 2 plus the first monkey which is still there were stopping the next set of monkeys from climbing the pole and eating the banana. After 1 week, they had about changed quite a few monkeys. Now it has happened, an established practice, there will be bananas, but the monkeys should not climb. I don't know what you understand out of this story. This is a behavioral experiment done. Many times we live life more or less like this. We live on prejudices, past practices, past belief systems, past thoughts which have been given from generations together. It is always considered that our forefathers were wiser than us. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's normally given because they come with age. So whatever our forefathers say, whatever the people in the mission say, one of the standard reasons I find when someone wants to do something and they stop is that 20 years back the SHC did not do like this. 30 years back, this is not how we practice Sahaj Marg or Heartfulness. Everywhere what happens is people are living by a belief system that they have not personally experienced. In behavioral science, we always say that keep questioning the status quo. Meaning, whatever you are practicing, whatever you are doing, if you do not question, that system will not evolve. Let's look at, for example, the concept of central region, or even cleaning as an established method was not officially prevalent during Lalaji's time. Though it was being done by Lalaji Maharaj, he had not given an exclusive system of cleaning, and he had not spoken officially or anywhere explained about the concept of central region. When Babaji Maharaj took it, he did a lot of research. He questioned the status quo what Lalaji Maharaj had established and evolved the system further. He gave the concept of cleaning. He understood the importance of the role of the spine, which Daji is speaking about these days. Once he told me way back in 2012 the importance of spine and how samskaras go and settle there, and which was a secret for a very, very long time, which Babaji Maharaj found out. And he introduced the concept of point B cleaning and the evening cleaning, which are, if you look at point B cleaning, it's from the front. If you look at the evening cleaning, it's from the back. So if you go deeper into that, you will understand that over a period of time they sediment and then they go and settle in the spine at the back, and hence the cleaning of deeper impressions is done through the back. The point A meditation, again, which is in the front, is something done to let go of your thoughts which are based on likes or dislikes, and help you to maintain a relationship with the world which is purer. If you look at the life of Chariji Maharaj, he took it further up. He introduced the concept of love. He transcended the concept of just techniques. He introduced the concept of love, and he said at some point of time you'll understand. So Lalaji Maharaj has written in his book Truth Eternal that a time will come when you will be able to say knowledge is not necessary. But for you to be able to say knowledge is not necessary, you have to come to that level to say knowledge is not necessary anymore. For example, if a poor man on the road says money is useless, you will all laugh at him. You will say that you are fit for nothing, and because you are not able to earn money, you are saying money is not useful to you. But if a very rich man says, there is a famous book called A Frugal Millionaire, which came many years back. And a millionaire speaks about how to live a frugal life. Frugal life in India we understand as a minimalist approach. In Kerala I find it very often, you have expensive dresses but still with a dhoti and shirt you can manage very comfortably. Minimalist life. But when a rich man says a minimalist life is good, we tend to accept. If a person who is a PhD says knowledge is useless, you will accept. But a person who has failed in school tells you knowledge is useless, you will not be able to digest. So Chariji Maharaj said a time will come when we have to transcend the techniques. Till about 1987, 1988, he was experimenting a lot. Some of you who might have preceptors who would have read his talks from Kurmet of 1988, where he speaks extensively about yatra, movement, points, regions, knots, circles. At some point of time, I have been fortunate enough to spend almost 21 years with Chariji Maharaj in person with him. And being Daji's secretary, I have known him since 94. And from 96, he was our neighbor in Garden of Arts, which is in Manapak. I had a lot of chance to spend a lot of time with him as well. They all understand at some point of time you will transcend all this and understand that love is the only way. But again, for people to understand that, Daji started, if you really look at the concept of point C and point D, and specifically preceptors, if you understand the concept of vestibule cleaning, all these have been things which Daji has found, improved, and given to us for us to make our practice better. If you suddenly wake up and you are earlier in Lalaji Maharaj's time, and if you come today and say that these practices are not valid, this is not what Lalaji Maharaj taught, what will happen? You will miss out on what is available today. Why am I sharing the monkey story or these concepts? Is for us to understand the only way for you to improve is to keep changing. There is no way we can remain stagnant. There is a famous quote in English which says, stagnant water stinks. If you let anything stagnate for too long, it tends to stink because it's stale, it doesn't move. Movement and change are interrelated. You need to keep moving, not in a physical sense. Likewise, our thought patterns. See, humans have a very unique quality which no other species in the world have. It is said that there are more than 200 million species in this world, plus or minus. Out of all these, there is only one species which has an ability which no other species has. The sixth sense, or the ability to discriminate, the ability to think. The famous speech by Sahaj Marg on his 75th birth anniversary at Chennai, 24 July 2002. He speaks about, dare to think, dare to be free. Aude separe, he explains that dare to think. We don't use one of the most important faculties given to us, which is our ability to discriminate. 3-4 years back, Daji gave a beautiful talk in Kana during one of the celebrations, where he speaks about the importance of discrimination. At a very low level, we all understand discrimination to be the difference between dualities, good and bad, rich and poor, knowledgeable and ignorant, and we dvanta, which is confined to the heart region. We all look at all these and then forget that discrimination is of a higher level. If you look at the second part of the speech, Daji beautifully explains there that the real discrimination is for you to look at causation and effect. I keep writing a lot of quotations, my own quotations, whatever flashes in my mind. 3 days back I wrote this, which comes in all my social handles, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. I very clearly said, if creation is the effect, the causation is God. Because specifically in very intellectual places, there is always this question, why should there be a creator? Can't I be on my own? Why do you need God? It's a good question to think about. If you bring the same approach to whatever we are doing, the key is to find what is the effect you want to produce in this life. The effect can also be called as a result. When you cook well, the effect is the food digests well and it provides the nutrients and whatever is needed for the body. But the cause is how you cook the food. If my sons and children, my daughters or the Abhyasis come up well, that is the effect. Causation is how they focus on the character formation. Likewise, one thing that we need to understand for sure, what is the effect I want to have in my life? About 5 years back, just before COVID, in one of the YouTube talks which was telecast live from Kana, Daji was mentioning the importance of finding out what will be your final version. He said focus on this as the effect. What do you mean by the final version? I am sent out into this world as a raw material, work in progress. I am not a finished product yet. If this work in progress has to become, those who are in manufacturing will know, there is a raw material which comes in. It is put together in a manufacturing process. This manufacturing process, during the time the raw material goes through multiple stages. We call it as work in progress. When it comes out ready to be dispatched, it's called as finished goods. The finished goods is what the consumer wants. The person who is going to buy will want the finished goods. He will not want the kacha raw material or the work in progress. This finished good is what he called as the final version. Are we clear what is the final version? When he said if you go and meet your creator on the other side, as and when we leave this body, hopefully if you are liberated, hopefully if you have climbed a few more points, moved up to higher regions, and the master on the other side comes and welcomes you, the same master that you see on the human plane, who also comes on the other side and welcomes you. Is it a version you will be proud of presenting to him? Will he be happy? Will he say that, like what Sahaj Marg used to say, if you have done your practice so well, they should wait for you with a red carpet on the other side. Please come, my son, we are waiting for you. He says such abhyasis, there will be celebrations and entire hierarchy will dance on the other side. One of the whispers says it. We wait for abhyasis who will really be what the master wants them to become. In one of the talks, Sahaj Marg said, there is no Guru Dakshina you need to give me. If you still want to give a Guru Dakshina, become that the master would be proud of. This is what the real Guru Dakshina is. When I see that in front of me, I have a product who is a true reflection of what myself is. When he sees you, there is no difference between you and him. Is it possible? First we need to fix what our goal is, the effect. The goal can be termed as the effect. For example, in my plus 2 exam, I want to score 98% so that I'll get an engineering degree or a medical degree or whatever. And then I need to work towards that. That is what is going to cause the effect. If you are a sincere abhyasi, if you look at Maxim 3, Babaji Maharaj has very clearly said, fix your goal as the highest. He only gives a clue, because what is highest to you may not be highest to somebody else. Sahaj Marg or Heartfulness is a very flexible system. There is no compulsion, all of you have to become only engineers or lawyers or doctors. You can choose what you want to achieve through this practice. In the beginning, I am told there are a few seekers who have come here today. In the beginning, we start the practice with a very simple goal of having peace and happiness as a goal. I want to be peaceful. The world is full of turmoil. There are so many challenges. At the end of the day, I want to sleep peacefully. I want to have a happy family. I want to have a good quality of life, thinking wise, feeling wise, what I possess. All these are very, very, very minimal goals. But unfortunately, like a child who is happy with a toy car instead of wanting a real car, we are all satisfied with what Sahaj Maharaj always says. Babaji used to throw breadcrumbs to all of us. Even liberation is a breadcrumb. He can give you just like that. But we are happy with that. We are not looking at what would be the final version. If at all, if there is one final version that we can look at, is to make ourselves exactly like him. This is one final version he has hinted so many times. About a year back, Daji was giving a talk and he mentioned about the number of people who have made it like that. And he said during Babaji Maharaj's time, there are about 200 people who became like that. These people will never be known. Fortunately or unfortunately, they don't carry a tag, oh I have reached. There is no tag around your neck. These people have made it. They themselves will not know. It's good that they don't know. Because initially when Babaji Maharaj was apparently putting people in central region, and he used to tell them, I put you in central region, and Sahaj Marg was observing that all these people are slipping back to lower regions. So he asked Babaji Maharaj, why are you doing this? You are doing a disservice by telling them you are in central region. He said, Dekho Parsadi, I am doing an experiment. I am experimenting to see how they respond when I tell them I have put you in central region. There are many people, they thought the moment they are in central region, they don't need the Guru anymore. It's like you fly above in a helicopter, you say that I have climbed now and then switch off the engine. I have climbed now, it's safe. That's when the fall starts. Likewise, the ego takes over. Daji has repeatedly said what stops your growth till the end is nothing but a very, very, very subtle form of ego. It is that identity. Ego is neither bad or good, please bear in mind. It is that identity of I-ness that I am not ready to give up, which stops me becoming the final version that he wants us to become. Going back to the monkey story, you look around a lot of people, you are happy, oh I am better than him. I think I have now moved to 7th point, he is only in 2nd point, just for the sake of it. And then what happens is you tend to stagnate. We don't look at the highest possibility. Chariji Maharaj repeatedly used to say, what is possible for a master to become is possible for every human being in this world to become. Becoming masterly, not becoming a master. Becoming a masterly is something available to every human being in this world. If it is so, as an Abhyasi, the one who is apparently gifted something, whether we understand it or not. Yesterday I was having a conversation with a new seeker. He had to start his practice. They come to India to go to Kana. And I was talking to them that what a privileged position it is for you to be connected to God. And when people till about 100 years back did not have access to this, it was lost 72 generations before Raja Dasarath, and it has come back thanks to Lalaji Maharaj. Do we understand the value of what is in our hands? Chariji Maharaj's often repeated quotation, don't throw pearls in front of a swine. It will never understand the value. It will just think it to be another set of dirt and play with it. Many times masters have this pain that people do not seem to understand what heartfulness practice can actually give to you. I do not know how many of you have the habit of writing diary, whether you are a Abhyasi or a preceptor. A preceptor is nothing more than an intense Abhyasi. He is also given the permission to transmit, that's all. No big difference. But do you really know that the importance of diary writing? And how, when you reflect, when I joined the mission, I joined in 1992, and first 1.5 months my preceptor had a tough time. I used to write diary, but he insisted that I had to write my goal. I said, I don't believe in all this. I did whatever I wanted to do. Like typical young, I was quite youthful, arrogant, and I thought whatever I am doing is right. At some point of time I understood, and then I wrote in my diary, the first diary, the book that he gave me. Then I wrote the goal. Then I understood the importance of the practice. Everything I did or everything I did not do seemed to link properly into the practice that has been given to us. Such a efficacious practice that you will never find anywhere else in the world today, as far as I know. I have not experienced many systems, but I have spoken to many seekers from various systems. I understand what this system has to offer. I also understand that we get tempted to forget what this system will offer, mainly because we have a myopic view. Those who are doctors here, ophthalmologists, you will know that a myopic view, if the hand is too close, you can't see your hand. If something is too close, you will not understand its value. There's a famous saying in Tamil, the value of shadow is understood only when you are thrown out into the sun. Imagine what will happen, like what Babaji Maharaj told Lalaji once. What have you given to me? When Lalaji said, you have reached. This is such a dry, waste, barren land. So Lalaji says, do you want me to take it out from you? And then Babaji says, Saab, don't do it, I'll die. It is such a fine, the challenge is the 5 senses with which we see the world. The touch, the feel, the smell, the hearing. We are inundated with very low level of taste. For example, the standard question comes up, should Abhyasis stick to vegetarian or are we permitted to take non-vegetarian? Why is it that we should not take alcohol? Daji openly says, go out and do whatever you want. Splurge yourself. Nobody is stopping you. Because if I am going to take a knife and punch myself and say, I like it very much, how can I stop you? He very clearly says, because we are grounded to lower levels of taste in life, the higher taste which is spiritual. It's like every year one person used to come to Shahjahanpur to take a sitting from Babaji Maharaj. and he'll always say, give me that liquor which makes me go high. And rest of the year he used to take normal liquor. So Babaji Maharaj said, I will not give it to you anymore. Because you are losing it, because it's so subtle, you don't know what it means to you. Because love is so subtle, we find that emotions are much more easier. Love is a feeling. Whereas someone cries with me, when someone emotes with me, I find it much more interesting. Because I see something with my eyes. Whereas when I feel for you, what we call as empathy, you don't seem to understand. A practice like heartfulness transcends the five senses and takes you to a much higher level. And for you to do that, for example, if you are climbing Mount Everest, in the first 1,000 feet you can carry more luggage. But when you reach the base camp, which is 15,000-20,000 feet, you have to let go of much of the luggage. When you are going to the summit, you have to literally let go of everything except very little life-saving material, because at that height level, what we call as rarefied atmosphere, you cannot live with lower level loads or baggages. Whatever we do, the negative thinking. Daji last week spoke about, in the presence of Prime Minister Modi, the importance of giving up on thought pollution, which he says is the root cause of all the pollution in the world. When we let go of lower levels of rajas, then you have the chances of moving towards that sattvic that heartfulness promises. Can I have this and that also? It is something for you to experiment, because in Sahaj Marg, we never denounce anything. We never say you should not do. Even if you look at our 10 maxims, it's all about what is to be done. Live life piously. Doesn't mean don't do this, don't do that. Whereas if you look at some of the other commandments, it says do not covet neighbor's property. Everyone focuses on the don'ts. We focus on the do's. Because even at a thought level, masters do not want to take you towards something negative. Going back to the causation, where I link and come back to end my talk. If I understand what is the effect that I want to have in my life, what will be the final version that I want to present myself? Please bear in mind that the human form is one of the highest that you can have in this existence. There are lower levels of existence that we have crossed to be here. And to find a system which lets you reach, which on your own practice can take anywhere between 1.5 to 2 billion years on your own. And that much, nobody can live long enough to go through that. That is given in a substance of, Raji once famously said, in about 7 to 8 years, every sincere Abhyasi can reach that state, if they are sincere. Now he has made it even shorter. Even with a 90-day intensified practice, where he says practice like never before. Is it only practice? Is it only meditation? Is it only constant remembrance? Is it only cleaning? Is it only about the prayer? Is it only about point B, cleaning, and point A, meditation? No, it's about a way of living. Heartfulness is not about practice, it's about the way we live our life. Once we had a debate, rather a discussion in the presence of Daji in a working committee meeting. He was wondering, such a beautiful system, why people are not accepting it? Why people are not flocking it? It's free, it's available 24/7, there are no limitations, they can jump. We can handle, one preceptor can give sitting to 1 million people, 1 crore people, there is no limitation. Yet why people are not coming? And when my turn came, I shared one perspective with him. He smiled, he didn't say anything. I said the challenge is, our preceptors, our volunteers, our abhyasis are talking about the system as if the system is the product. The meditation is the product. Cleaning is the product. In my view, the meditation or the cleaning or the prayer, heartfulness practice is not the product. We are the products. When someone talks to you, they look at you. They see whether what you are talking, you are practicing. That's why in Christianity they famously say, do not preach what you don't practice. Because it's only a few moments, heart to heart, every new seeker will know that you are giving gyan and you are not practicing what you are sharing. Many of the things, when I say something, you say something, she says something, It will be understood differently by the same person, not because of how I say. It is because of what they see in me as the change that I promise the system will bring to them. If that doesn't happen in you, how do you expect the other person to believe that promise and continue with this practice? Hence I said that till I become that version which I can present, like the famous Ramakrishna Paramahansa story, one of his devotees came to him. She said that my son has the habit of eating excess sugar. He is a devotee. If you tell him to stop, he will stop. He says, please come after 4 weeks. After 4 weeks, Ramakrishna Paramahansa tells this devotee, please don't eat sugar. He stops. So the mother is now concerned, you wasted 4 weeks' time. You could have told me 4 weeks back. He said, no, I have the habit of eating excess sugar. I wanted to stop first. How can I tell him not to eat sugar when I myself have the habit of eating sugar? Unless we bring that change. See, look at this as a chance that is given by nature to us. Babaji Maharaj has said several times, if you miss this bus, someday in future you may be reborn in an Abhyasis family. You may be. There is no guarantee. Because it depends on your vibratory level at the time of exit from this world. The vibratory level is high and it is still below the level of liberation. You may be attracted by another Abhyasis family and you may be born there to continue the practice. If your vibratory level is very, very low, all is likely to happen is it's like a very low ceiling. You hit and fall, hit and fall, hit and fall. And you don't have a choice of choosing the womb where you want to be born. It's law of immediate falling. When you fall, whatever is free, it will go and fall there. It could be the Kuvam river in Chennai, which is full of filth. It could be Ganges, we don't know. Hence, your vibratory level, which is all about changing your final version, is something that we need to do today. Look at your goal. Look at what is the effect that you want to have. Is final version something that I really need to present, or I am happy with what Sahaj Marg Heartfulness is producing today? Am I happy just surface level skimming when the entire sea is available for me to dive deep and pick up the pearls? It's up to you to decide, because we have the ability to discriminate. You are not going to take something because I tell you. You are going to take something because you develop belief in it by the practice that you do and the experience that that practice bestows on you, through which you understand that yes, this is the practice which will take me to where I have to go, because that is what I am born for. The intermediary school, which is the time between the death and rebirth, when you ruminate, is a possibility for an Abhyasi to do every day while you are here, when you do the bedtime prayer. When you are able to surrender everything to him and say that at least from tomorrow make me a better version. Hopefully, Kerala, which needs as much as every state, sister was talking about how Tamil Nadu is spreading. All of us are still on the back foot. We still have a long way to go. We are all still in a tutorial college. I am scoring 20 marks, somebody is scoring 2 marks. The pass marks is much, much higher. We still have a long way to go. But the collective force of what we are, like what Swami Vivekananda said, give me 100 men of passion, I can change the entire India through them. Like that, if the people here decide to come together and transform yourself to such an extent, it's not very difficult. Huh? Actually, it's simple but not easy, but it's not impossible. Something that all of us can do. A day will come when Daji should be happy that yes, Thrissur or Kerala or India has now sufficient people to ensure that the system will perpetuate to such an extent that all humans will pass through the gate and go through the other side. May it happen soon. I wish you all the best. I stop here and thank you for the opportunity given.